and welcome back to the Harbingers D&D campaign. We are so excited to be back here and to be joined together with you guys and getting back into the story. We're super psyched about it. Um, if you haven't seen the past episodes, we did have the Nat 1 nerds with us, which was super awesome and just so great. Um, Definitely take a look at the past couple episodes because a lot has happened. um, so, yeah. Today, some announcements real quick. We sadly do not have Dane with us today, our resident Water Genasi monk, but we're super excited to have him back here next week. So, yeah, so it'll just be a small party from the past couple episodes we've had. It's been kind of big.
Very scary party size.
Hee.
That'll be fine. I can conjure 8 animals and whatever anyways, so
Oh gosh. Conjuring
just for power balance sake,
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, because absolutely, I love it when you conjure that many animals.
I know you love it.
Oh gosh. Okay, well, other announcements that we have. We do have coming up the scattering event that we're having. It's coming up and it's going to be a 3-session one shot on May 17th, May 24th, and May 31st. So they're taking up when we would normally be having Harbingers, and it's just going to be those 3. Harbingers will return after the stream. But we're super excited because we're teaming up with Tomes of the Chaos Bard, and they are super awesome. We're so excited to have David and Becky from them join us. And they'll be joining us for the Scattering event, which basically is, if you're loving the Harbingers campaign right now, 2,000 years in the past is when the scattering happened. We've talked about it a little bit in the campaign. It's a historical event where there were a whole bunch of beasts and great monsters on the world that were basically like keeping all the humanoids down, right? They were rulers over everything. And the scattering, everyone says that the gods finally cast out all of the great monsters. So that's what it is to the Harbingers campaign. But we'll find out the real story on May 17th. So keep tuned to watch that. We're so excited to have David and Becky join us too for that. So if you're fans of Tomes of the Chaos Bard, please go and watch them. And please come and watch the scattering. So yeah, we're super excited. Let's see. Any other announcements? I don't think there is. No? I always look at Sierra to this part. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Check out Rosemary PG Studios website, our channel. Yeah, if you're liking the Harbingers so far and you aren't subscribed, why not subscribe? You're coming back anyways, so coming back for the story. So, without further ado, we'll head right into our recap.
All right. I get to recap this time. So, last session we did some delving, some into the depths shenanigans. We're in the Feywilds and we've been looking for Miles. And we found out there's a secret prison camp of some kind that we're able to access through some portal shenanigans. So we begin exploring. We tie up the guys we have, set them up in the barn with our horses, telling them we'll be back. We'll be back. And we go. We begin exploring. We solve some riddles. Pretty rapidly solve the riddles. Sierra just pulls out, hey, is this the answer? Lo and behold, it was the answer. To Emily's joyous joyous gratitude.
The funny part
Um,
is like that wasn't even a bit. Like I literally had that as that was the answer. And
yeah,
she just figured
yes.
it out.
I mean, to be fair, it was well set up that
It
that was an important phrase.
it
So
was set up. It
it was
was.
set up. It was set up. Um, but we get past and we see some guards. We very quickly dispatch of them with the help of basically everyone. Even little Dusty came out. That was awesome. Dusty the Scorpion. Yeah, classic. Very good times. So we just ransacked the place and pretty much beelined it straight to Miles. Um, Eventually, we find where he's being contained, but not before we run into another very important figure, perhaps more important than Miles in some ways. Um, King Toleth Windrail. Um, he is a previous ruler of the Winter Court, from what I recall, before he strangely went missing. He's also Nuri's grandfather and also killed Nuri's mother. So, in case it wasn't in case it wasn't complicated enough, um, but we decide he's important and we should probably take him with us. But he's not responding, and he has these like web like vein growth stuff going on, and any attempts to heal him and cure his ailment um, do not result well, and he it seems to just spread the infection. But we decide to take him with, so we bring him, and that's where we find Miles being forced to create this army of metal men and weaponry of all kinds. Um, we break Miles out. We knock out his captor, and he shows us his plan to escape. So coincidentally titled "The Escape Plan." Very, very great mind. Um,
Very Miles.
very Miles. And so, with a large boat, we get on there. We're like, how do we get out of here? There's a river, I guess. We're going down that. Um, the boat doesn't seem to be working. So Miles has Dusty walk forward, where Dusty reaches out a hand, and Miles tinkers with his mechanics and connects Dusty somehow to the machine, to which it causes the boat to work. And we follow this river, we fly around a little bit, we go down a large tunnel, and we pop out somewhere in the Feywilds, deep within, in a large river. Um, Unfortunately, not knowing where Lucky nor Trapper, our trusty steeds, are. But that is for today's shenanigans to figure out. And that is where we find ourselves.
Alrighty. Thank you for that recap. As you guys have, I guess with that, we'll head right into the story. Okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. Alrighty. Without further ado, let's dive right back into the story. So, as you guys have just now escaped from this heralder compound, should I say, you guys are currently riding, and you guys are currently riding along the moonlight, following the stream down. As you guys had exited from this deep cavern and tunnel that led out to the Winter Court. And as you guys fly above the trees, and you see the great moon reflecting high in the sky, well, it's honestly like almost setting. It's getting pretty It's getting pretty low to that point, so it's been a while at this point that you guys have been traveling. The wind rustles through your hair, and the chill of the winter wind basically just bites and settles in. It seems to be lightly snowing at this point. The Winter King that you guys had rescued, basically, seems to have no sign of life almost, except for faint, kind of ragged, rough breathing. Very light. Yet any attempt to stir him does not wake him up. Miles and Thea at this point had been conversing privately for a little bit of time after Miles had talked with both Echo and, my gosh, why did I blank, Val? With Echo and Val for quite some time before he went and was talking with Thea. At this point, you guys have been following the river, unsure as to exactly where you are in the Winter Court. And with that, you guys are on the boat. It's a very big boat. And it's flying. Dusty, you are at the helm. The mechanical wires and weaving still attached to this core. This power core, basically. As you've been able to effectively power the boat. What are you guys doing? As night is starting to fade.
This is a very good question. A lot's happened.
A lot has happened.
I mean, so Dusty, he's kind of at the helm. And in my head, I kind of picture that he's just very close to the actual core. Is he inherently directing the ship's movements, or is the direction coming from Miles? Like a steering wheel or whatever.
You can right now you are like directing the ship as he's gone over to talk to Thea. He's shown you how to be able to direct the ship just by like you powering it.
Okay.
But you can also give that over to someone else to be directing it, but you still have to be like hooked up to it.
Okay. This makes sense. Dusty, he kind of calls out in a sort of introductory sentence. He basically says to Miles, he says, let's see, how does he even start? It's been a long time since he's talked to Miles. He basically says, whoa, there's like two very distinct topics he could talk about. So I'm actually going to request a high and or a low.
Oh, from me?
Yes, that is the one.
Hi.
I rolled on roll 20, but that's about as high as it gets. So.
Ooh, okay. Oh, dang, that's a nat 20. Holy crud. Okay.
Nat 20. So Dusty is basically going to say, he says, hey, Miles, just I just wanted you to make sure you met the rest of my group here. And he gestures over. He points towards Nuri. He says, "This is Nuri, as well as Morris. And there's Douse, and you've already met Balaneko pretty well. But I just want to make sure you got to know them as well. They have been traveling with me for quite some time, so."
Miles had stood up when you said hey, and he nods. And he turns to you all, and as you kind of like are able to take this moment to like sink in and take a look at Miles, you notice that he looks very slender, not in like a like healthy slender. It's a not healthy slender. Like he hasn't been eating very much or has been kind of starved, and he looks still very like beaten and tired, but he's been staying up. As he turns to you all, and he actually does a little bit of a half bow towards you guys, and he says, "Any friend of Buddy is a friend of mine. Good to meet you all. Thank you for saving my life."
Nuri's gonna pull out of her bag a food ration and just hand it to him. And then after she's handed it to him, she'll just step back awkwardly.
He thanks you, and sits down next to Thea again and is kind of slowly eating some of the rations as he seems to forcibly try and slow himself in eating.
Reasonably so.
Nuri, after that, because he's just going and eating, she's first gonna go and just stand by Dusty and just kind of take note of what his hand has become.
He almost like he kind of like turns towards Miles, sort of for like an approval. He just kind of looks over.
Miles kind of like looks up, and he's got like half a jerky sticking out of his mouth, and then he kind of like pulls it out and quickly like swallows the bit in his mouth, and he kind of looks at you and he goes, if he kind of gives you like a thumbs up, and he's like, if you trust them.
Dusty nods, and then he kind of like tilts his hand towards Nori to give her a better look at what's actually happening.
Can I roll for our Arcana or Insight or
Yes,
something to just
you can roll Arcana.
gain some understanding?
What a good use for Arcana.
Let's see. Oh, my Arcana's decent. Rolled not so great though. 17.
17. Okay, from what you can understand, because you are not an artificer, but you are a mage, a wizard. As you're looking at this, you do recognize signs of magic. It looks to be, from your base looking at it, is that there are wires coming from Dusty's hand and connecting inside the ship, and there looks to be this shimmering, pulsating green light coming, like, that's like glowing, and it looks like almost like bursts of this magical energy are kind of traveling from Dusty to the ship, or at least into this mechanical portion of the ship. As you're kind of looking at this, sorry, excuse me, you see that from your Arcana that this is an exchange of energy, that it looks like Dusty is giving some of like his magical power to this ship, and somehow that magic is like that Dusty's magical power is powering this ship effectively. you also know that this is a pretty big ship, so it has to probably be a pretty powerful magic to be able to do that. So you're a little suspicious as to why, like, because you know Dusty. You know he can cast, like, pretty awesome spells. But, like, this is kind of, like, way higher.
When you say way higher, like way higher casting level, way higher
Yeah.
kind of magical power, like beyond human capability.
You would say, like, it's either, like, a 9th level kind of a thing or, like, past that.
Oh.
Because this is a big ship. Like, if I made another map, because currently you guys are in the woods, but I made another map for the escape plan. I'll put you on the top deck.
Huh. As Nuri's kind of inspecting Dusty's hand, he retorts, "Yeah, I have no idea what it's about either, to be honest. I've asked Miles many a time. He's not entirely sure either. A little bit,
You see kind of Miles overhears that a little bit, and he kind of looks up towards you guys for a moment and then kind of like awkwardly like turns towards Thea and begins conversing, very whispering with her.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I mean, it works. Helps things function, but I'm not exactly sure where it comes from."
Okay. Wait. Okay. Let it be known, Sierra is taking notes. Nuri, you will notice, is not writing any of this down or making any sketches or anything of what she's seeing.
Wow.
Sierra is, but Nuri's not.
Okay.
After like looking at your hand and after what you just said, she'll just kind of look at you and are you feeling tired? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'll.
Doesn't hurt?
He like looks down towards his hand. He shakes his head. He's like, "Not really. It's more like a It's like putting your hand in warm water." Yeah.
Well, doing good. Gonna tap his shoulder and then
He just nods curtly.
she's gonna go actually sit down by the Winter King. And she's just gonna kind of study his face, and she will pull out her notebook at this time, and it will look like she is taking notes of his physical situation in the green, not green, black, sorry. The green came from the light.
Yeah.
The black spidery veins across his face.
Okay. Amaris, what are you doing?
Trying to keep warm. Mars has like her cloak wrapped around herself. She's like rubbing her hands together, just focusing on trying to stay warm.
Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good. At that, Miles does look over at you, and he says, "If you would like to, you can go below deck."
Oh, there's a below deck. Thank you so much. And she's gonna go below deck.
Okay. So technically there are 3 doors that lead below deck. There's one down here and then 2 up here. And he kind of points to the two up top, I think. Yeah, the 2 up top. Okay, I'm gonna move you over here. Oops, I'm moving ya. You're there. So you can go in and you can explore up there if you would like.
Yes.
Okay. You head on in into this area. If you can see on the map, it is exactly as the map looks like. So if you open up these doors around you, they open up into little cabins that you can like find lots of blankets in. There's a lot of bedrooms here.
So as she looks around and she like finds the bedrooms, like we've basically been doing this whole mission during the night. She's tired. Marissa's gonna go find a bed.
Okay. All right, perfect. And you lay down to rest. After a bit of time, Miles and Thea stand up and they actually head up the stairs, up the deck, towards Dusty. Sierra, do you at this time like come follow, or are you just going to stay where you are?
Wait, did you say who was it that was doing that again?
Miles and Thea were coming up. Yeah, they were coming up to go see Dusty.
She'll stay where she is. Wait, let me actually see how far away she is. Yeah, she'll stay where she is, but might look at what they're saying because she can read lips.
Like over her shoulder, she's just like
Binoculars.
I mean, I have a 20 passive perception.
You got good eyesight. You got elf eyesight.
I do.
Okay, so you can be watching from afar. They are like raised up further than you, so it's going to be very difficult to read their lips. I'd have you have to roll like perception just to see if you can read their lips. And even then, you can't hear anything as to what Dusty's saying because he kind of like is weird with his metal mouth.
Yeah, don't move like normal mouths do.
I'm gonna go ahead and give myself disadvantage on this because Muri is debating with herself if she should even be looking. So she's like,
okay, disadvantage. Okay, 13.
15.
Yeah, you fail. You can't get any of the conversation,
Okay.
unfortunately.
She's like looking, but then she's like, don't look. Don't eavesdrop.
Don't be rude. Okay. Well, Dusty, Miles and Thea come up to you. And it looks like Thea has her hand like on Miles's shoulder. As Miles turns to you and he goes, so Thea tells me that you call yourself Dusty.
Yeah, it's a name I picked up. It's what I've been going by. Plus, it conceals my identity as Buddy. So he just kind of like shrugs. He's like, it works out.
Well, I should probably be calling you Dusty then, if that's what you prefer.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. Well, it's just... He kind of puts his hands up to his head as he's like, it's... Not gonna lie, it's... I almost feel like I'm in a dream, seeing you both again, as he looks between you and Thea. It's good to see you in one piece. Still holding up. Oh, you are still holding up.
Oh, yeah. For the most part. There are a couple strange mechanisms that have been going on that I haven't been able to quite explain, but I mean, we should talk about that later. And he at this point, he like fully like faces Miles, and he just kind of like looks him up and down, and he says, "You probably should get some rest."
He kind of rubs the back of his neck and he goes, "You're probably right about that. But I owe you answers. But, Dusty, I want you to know that I intend to answer them.
Yeah.
Any question you have. Are you good to keep the ship running through the night?"
It will be a little bit taxing, but I do not mind. I'll be able to rest on the day after, once we're out of this place. He kind of looks around.
Well, we can land it for a few hours.
I only need 4.
Okay. Well, if you need someone to take the helm so you can rest, I'm more than happy to drive and steer while you rest while powering it.
Dusty nods, says, "All right."
Okay. Well, then I will see you in... He looks over at the moon that's like setting. He goes, "I'll probably see you in an hour."
Perfect.
Okay. And then he does head off down, but he heads down through the door at the bottom and goes into a bedroom down here. Thea does linger as she just continues she just kind of watches you. And if there's anything you wish to say to her, then you can say it, but she will continue to watch and look out, watching the tree lines, watching the area, and watch you.
I'm thinking if there is anything he wants to talk to her specifically about. I don't know if there really is. I mean, he has questions, but they're mostly for Miles. And Miles needs sleep, so he's just gonna wait.
Yeah. Okay. You're more than welcome to wait. She will have a trance at some point where she will just trance with her elven nature, but she intends to stay out here with you. All right. Sierra, back to you before a long rest.
Can I make a medicine check with all the knowledge and stuff I know to gain any more information about the black veiny spider webs?
Yeah, definitely. Make a medicine check for me straight up.
Okay. $21.
21. Okay.
Research.
With that 21, because that's a pretty good medicine check, what you can tell is he seems to be in some sort of coma, of course. Though it seems to be a little bit altered by some other form of magic affecting him. From what you can see with your medicine check is that it doesn't seem like it's poison or anything. At least any of the poisons that you would know. But it seems like there's some other form of magic.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have you roll a history check real quick.
Should I keep trusting? online or not.
I mean, it
It's
steered you
been
well.
Okay.
They're bound to give me a low one because I've been getting highish rolls.
You have been getting highest rolls.
History. What is my
Most-
history?
I
My
mean,
history is +6.
3 out of the 4 have been above average.
Now that's suspicious.
It's kind of suspicious.
It's sus.
I think
Oh my
I
gosh, that
will
reminds me. My dice are over there.
roll. Okay. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Alrighty. Sorry, hold on. I
+6.
gotta grab my dice that are over here because I realized I forgot my dice. Okay. Dirty 20. That's pretty good. You remember something something that had been mentioned to you actually by the boys. If you remember the boys.
Of course, I remember the boy.
You remember one of them mentioning something about this like black ooze. And you remember again Azon talking about something called the Rens. Rends. But if you're adding a plural. But you do remember something about that where he was saying that there were these dark masses, things that are carving itself through the earth, of magical dark energy. He couldn't quite, Azon himself couldn't quite place it. That's why he had been asking for your assistance originally about that before you guys had informed him about the possibility of him being murdered. And the boys had, it's the reason why the boys had you guys take the eastern route rather than the western route, because the western route was covered in these wrens, effectively. You think, at least based off of what you remember, it looks like these vines have some like similarity in the descriptions that you've been given of the wrens. But that's about as much as you can make.
Okay. Oh, wow. Well. Oh. Well. Well. It's gonna need a lot of research. After she's done that, she's just gonna stay up on the deck and she'll just be like kind of sitting like this on the edge of the boat
Okay.
and just watching the landscape. She's never been in the winter court before, so
Okay. You can watch the landscape. I'm gonna say that Douse will move the Winter King into one of these rooms. Say he can rest in a bed. And we'll say, okay, there we go. I just moved them inside. Alrighty. And are you guys taking a long rest at this point?
Sure. I think so.
Sure.
Alrighty.
yeah.
Sure.
So I gotta find my blood dice and my metal dice so I can pull them out.
Don't like that that was announced.
Yeah, what are you plotting, Emily?
You don't need them like
I'm
right
not-
now,
need
do
I'm
you?
not plotting
like right,
anything.
like right now. You
I
don't
just
need
need
them
my-
like right this second, though, do you?
Yeah, I'm just pulling out my dice.
I don't like that. I don't like that that's happening. Are you guys gonna take a long rest? Yeah. Let me just get my dice real quick. For no reason. I'm just just grabbing them. You guys are taking a long rest, though, right? Yeah, we're taking. Okay, I'll need my dice real quick. Just don't worry about it.
We're definitely gonna get ambushed by some like flying creatures or something.
It's fine.
What?
Fine.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Alrighty, guys. So you guys take a long rest. Dusty, you are unable to take a rest until someone is manning the helm,
Okay.
which Thea will do for you because she only needs 4 hours in a trance.
Yeah.
So she'll spend like 4 hours of it, like directing the boat, so you can do that, and the other 4 resting herself. And I'll say that, like, since you're not doing anything other than just like powering the boat, that'd be like a short rest for you.
Okay.
Since 4 hours of it you don't have to focus on like driving it.
Okay.
Okay. So 8 hours later. So if the sun rose at say, because it's winter, it's gonna rise later in the day. What, at like 8 or 7? Probably 8. No, 7:30 maybe. I don't know. Somewhere around there. Then 8 hours. I guess. Hold on. All right. Let's say, guys, I have to do math. That's the thing.
It is tough.
Okay. 1 second. We're going to say it's like 1 p.m. after your long rest. So, like, it's been daytime, because it has to be 8 hours. So, it's been daytime for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe mid-afternoon?
Yeah, like around 1-ish, maybe 2-ish, mid-afternoon. Yeah. Also, we totally lost Megan.
That's what I was.
Megan!
I thought it was just me. I'm sad now. I
No,
was like,
she vanished. Don't know where she is.
She just fell asleep a little too deeply.
or too hard. Something about the winter court. It just gone.
She's gone.
Oh.
Okay. Well, while we wait for her to return, morning dawns. Well, I guess afternoon dawns with your long rest. Surprisingly, nothing has found you during your rest. Nothing has happened. As you guys have been just like kind of chilling and vibing on the boat. So Megan's back.
Welcome. We have been chilling and vibing on the boat.
You guys have just been vibing. And yes, Amaris, you can take some blankets from the other rooms before the other people arrive. We're going to say Val and Echo are taking a well-deserved break in their room. And Dowsa is actually going to come out, and he's going to just be overlooking the deck, watching the sky. Miles comes out, stretching a lot. He's like, oh, okay, ready to go. He still does look like worn down. It looks like he's still very exhausted. Maybe like he recovered from like 1 point of exhaustion during his long rest and he still has some more.
When he comes on deck, she'll go and give him another ration.
Oh, and he will happily take it and again forcibly slow himself down as he eats it. Because he wants to make sure he's not going to make himself throw up from it. I want everyone to roll a Constitution save saving throw for me.
But why?
Away.
No reason. No
Yeah,
reason.
Dusty,
Again.
you do have advantage.
Oh, I have advantage?
Yes.
Epic.
Is
Yeah, I'll
it poison?
take the 17. You're poisoning people! Your rations!
No.
Oh, not my ration.
So, Dusty, you got a 17. Megan, you got a 12.
It's probably fine.
I got a 6.
You got a 6. Okay. So, the Constitution save. So, Megan and Greg succeed on their con save. Actually, let me roll for Thea and Miles real quick. They also succeeded on their con save.
Nice. That's
So
what we like to
everyone
hear.
but Sierra, but Nuri. Nuri, you're feeling very, like, seasick, strangely enough. Like,
Aw.
because it rocks a little bit, because it is a boat. It's like you're traveling on the air currents. So it's like the sky waves. So
Spooky.
You know, it makes sense. I don't think she's ever actually been on a boat outside of a river, so she'll just be on this side, wading over.
you're feeling really
This
nauseous.
little green.
Gauss isn't here, but he probably finds this comforting.
Yeah, he does. He finds it very comforting. I would not even have him roll Constitution. Actually, maybe I would with advantage, but
Has he been on a boat? I don't know if he's been on a boat.
That's
He's lived in the
true.
ocean.
that's
Has he been on a boat?
true.
Very
Maybe-
different experience.
Maybe that's where the advantage comes from, because Dusty also has been under the water. We know
Ah.
this with Gauss. So.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, that's what that is. Yes.
Yeah. Dusty's been underwater in a little bubble. Okay. Anyways. Yes. So Nori, you are feeling a little seasick. You notice that Thea comes and sees you like over the edge. And she comes over and she just starts rubbing your back and patting you, and she's like, "It's okay. It's okay."
She just gives a thumbs up.
Alrighty. Amaris, are you heading out on deck as well?
Yes, and she is wrapped up in blankets.
Okay. Wrapped up in blankets as it is still snowing, as you guys are still in the winter court. But you guys have traveled quite a notable distance. So much so that Thea does notice a city on the horizon. And as she kind of like sees this, she kind of figures out where you guys are. I'm going to say this happened during the long rest, and she directed Dusty and was like, "Hey, head this direction so we can get back to the ring, the toadstool ring, so we can get back to the mortal plane." Kind of a thing. So,
Logical.
yeah. So you guys are doing fine. You're sailing back. You found out where you are. You're like, yeah, go Thea, because she has
Problem
maps of the
solved.
Winter Court, because she is a spy.
May or may not know information that most people do not know. Or some.
There we go. So Miles will come up to you, Dusty, and he says, well, good afternoon, I guess, but how was flying through the night?
Yeah. It was something. Tiring a little bit, but that's okay.
Well, thank you for doing that. I suppose I owe you some answers.
Yes, yeah. Just some thoughts and stuff I've been having.
Yeah, if you wish for anyone to be present for this, by all means, you're more than welcome to invite anyone over. But if you wish to just speak with me, that's also okay.
This is a good question. Hold on. Thinking about it. because I thought about this in my head before our session today, but I was not. The circumstances were different in my hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
um, he just kind of like nods. He says, "No, this is fine. Um, it's just been a little bit. Lots has changed. Um,
Yes. A lot has changed. And may I start out just sincerely apologizing for having to send you away.
he nods. He says, "Yeah, I mean, I don't fully understand why exactly, but I mean, I trust you."
Thank you. At that time, there were dark elves scouting me out. That's why periodically I would have to power you down, as I did not want them to discover you. And soon enough they got wind as to what I was building, who I've built. And Thea and I knew that it would be very bad if they found you. You would be used as a weapon of war, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we had to send you far away. Not even I knew where you were sent. Thea was the only one.
That does provide some context. Yeah, while I was out there for those few years, I began exploring a little bit. Got a little bit of understanding. I was kept inside of the desert for a time, over by Dragondale, sort of that sort of area. Met some nice people, and I was, throughout the whole time, I was intensely curious, just sort of about the world around me. I mean, it was the first time I'd truly been able to see and learn for myself. I was able to find a way to harness the magic around me. I learned to cast some spells here and there. Like I showed you, I can even wild shape my form, take on the visage of animals I've seen.
At this, Miles, his interest is very piqued. He was very interested, like, learning about what you had gone through. But when you say that you could wild shape, his eyes just go wide. And he kind of looks over at you and he kind of like almost, he puts his hand out to touch your arm and then he hesitates and says, "May I?"
Dusty nods. He's
And
like,
all right, and he goes over and he kind of like pulls up, he kind of holds onto your arm that isn't powering the ship, and kind of like unbinds some of the wrappings as he looks at your arm, and you can kind of see very faintly in like sections where the metal plating has like been put on around you, in the very like thin cracks you see the green energy, and you see Miles kind of like looks at this and he's like, I mean, I knew that it could power so much, but I never thought it could do this. And I'm not calling you in it. No, I was talking about your core. It just is a lot more. I knew it was very powerful, and I didn't think it would allow you to shape change.
yeah, it's something. I also have access to many different spells. Lots of studying with nature and that sort of stuff. I was able to graft sort of a connection to the Feywilds in some capacity. And did lots of studying. Even went to the water monastery, studied there a little bit.
Underwater.
Yeah, just a couple weeks.
That
Made-
is amazing.
Made less sense than the nature around me, but
As you continue to talk and say these things, he's like looking at you all over, like as he kind of like used to when you were still very young, first built. As he's kind of inspecting you all over, just like admiring everything you've been through. Anytime he sees like a dent, maybe from a wound or a scratch mark that went maybe a little too deep into the wrappings to kind of scratch into the metal, he does wince, and you see him look a little pained, like, oh no, my masterpiece.
yeah. Either way, I've been through a lot. Although, specific question I had, I feel that my I feel that my emotional receptors are twigging out a little bit. I don't really know a better way of putting it, but they're overactive, if that makes sense. I understand that I've been programmed to be able to feel sensations,
Mm-hmm.
touch, even taste, but and also recognize certain feelings and certain emotions to better help me in my purpose. But I don't know, maybe it had to do with the connection to the Feywilds or something, but just something feels out of the ordinary with it. Sort of like this constant pressure, if that makes sense.
Constant pressure on like the interior of your mechanisms.
Sort of. It's not so much a actual physical issue. I've done some testing myself, and there's not anything like physically wrong. I mean, what people have described, it's very similar to this separate
Stress?
feeling, like stress or just emotion in general. But it's more than that. It's like when I peer into my mind, when I think of my memories, it's like I'm there. It's like I can feel those times again, and the stress is there. We in the desert we encountered a sandworm, and it quickly became more than we could handle, and Nuri, she died, and so did Amaris. And I recall back to this moment, and I almost feel helpless in that time. I was just wondering if there's something you could look at. Maybe there's some wire out of line, or just got hit one too many times or something.
I can take a look at things. But yeah, here, let me take a look. And he goes over, and at this point, a lot of your bindings have kind of been undone and kind of set very delicately on the ground.
He would also see like the armor I'm wearing, to which he would have to take that off if he needs to do anything underneath that.
Yeah, he needs to get access to your back.
Yep, he'd need to take off my armor.
Okay, so he takes off your armor and your wrappings, and it's just a metal man underneath.
just a metal man underneath. This is epic.
I mean, but like to Dusty, like this has happened multiple times before, like when you're with
This is
Miles.
super normal. 100% normal.
100% normal. Like to you, it's not being naked. It's just you. Anyways, so on your back. I'm sorry. It's just funny. Miles goes over to a panel, basically, and is able to unlock the latch, basically, and open it up. And you know this is the area that he worked on quite a lot, making sure that everything within was working right. As he kind of like gets in there and he's looking around. Sierra and Amaris, if you guys look up at the top of the deck of the helm, you see the strangest sight ever of like Miles. He has to get like kind of on a stool a little bit, like a small stool to kind of like get in there. As Dusty looks to be like kind of hunched over just slightly. He's just a metal man. And you see this back panel that's being flipped open, and Miles is kind of like ruffling around through there, checking wires. You see this from a distance, but you do see this, and it's a very strange sight.
Houdini's actually gonna just fly up and sit like to the side behind Miles. And Nuria, she's just leaning over the side. Her senses are going to switch to Houdini's so she can see what's inside Dusty.
Alrighty. You're going to be watching. On the inside. Also, welcome Professor Foghorn and Lady Noir. Sorry for not the welcome sooner. As you're looking in, as you can kind of see, there looks to be lots of interconnected wires, lots and lots of wires, but also what looks to be like these metal, like a metal skeletal structure almost. And a lot of this is just coated in this green magical energy everywhere. And you notice that there is just this like energy. You can only see just like a section of these wires, as a lot of the like everything else is kind of being like disguised by a lot of the like metal structures that are keeping everything moving. Like from what it looks like, Miles not only knew about like how to build using metal, he also knew human anatomy really well. To get all of these, because it looks like all of these, there's a whole bunch of wires that almost look like a nervous system, and magical like thicker wires that look like veins and arteries. And he kind of finishes up his checking you out on the inside. That came out very wrong.
I immediately said it to myself. I was like, yeah.
He's not. He looks you. He makes sure nothing is broken.
Dusty is a robot.
Dusty is a robot. He makes sure everything is working properly before putting everything back where it was and closing the hatch there. And then he goes around to the other side of you, to the front of you. Now Houdini will have to move to a different perch to see this side. As Miles comes over, sets up his little stool, and he goes over to where Dusty's like heart would be if he was human. And he comes and he looks over this. Is Miles a necromancer? He's an artificer. Totally. Anyways, you see what looks to just be like a thin sheet of metal, pretty much. But he goes over and he presses a spot over where the heart should be, and suddenly the green glowing outline of a small like square panel appears, and he's able to open this up. Inside, you see this. Oh shoot, I don't have my document open. What shape is it? It is not there. I apologize. You're gonna have to give me 1 second here, because I did not pull this up.
Houdini is definitely repositioning to see this heart.
See, what is the heart?
What is it?
Where is it? It's from this person. Okay. Okay. I've got it. So what you see on the inside looks to just be, you just first only see this glowing bright green glow, basically. As Miles is kind of like inspecting around it, Houdini will have to get closer to see better as to what it is.
He'll do so.
Okay, you can flutter him a little closer. As Miles does hear the flapping, and he kind of looks over at the owl, but recognizing that it's like one of your guys' owls, and he kind of looks up at Dusty real quick.
Dusty nods.
And
It's okay. No.
yeah, because Miles is like, is that an enemy bird? Is it a robot? No, just kidding.
We're in enemy territory.
Birds are not real. No.
They're all dusty. Everything's dusty.
Everything's dusty. Dusty world.
It's so dusty in here.
No, so as you get closer, you see that it looks to be a glowing star shape. Like the shape of like a star in there.
That's where the heart should be? Or
That's where the
on
heart
panel?
should be.
Oh.
And it's glowing this beautiful like green glow, but like the inside of it is just very white. Whereas the edges kind of pull out into the shades of green. They kind of fill everything. He kind of looks around, and then he closes the panel, and it melds again seamlessly into the like front metal plate. He says, "Buddy, I don't know. Nothing's wrong in any of the wires. Nothing's been crossed. It does look like the emotional circuits are running a little hot. I would assume you're probably feeling this emotional stress or emotional pressure. I understand that it's a very human feeling. Humanoid, technically. Well, I don't want to exclude any other races, but it's a feeling that a lot of people get when they're under. The saying is under a lot of pressure. Having expectations that people place upon you, or expectations you place upon yourself that are difficult to overcome. And you may feel this pressure welling up inside you, and I assure you it's nothing that should alarm you. It's okay to feel pressure. Now, it's good to relieve that pressure. You don't want to bottle it up. A lot of people like to bottle their emotions, bottle up that pressure, and it just builds and builds. And you know what happens when machines get full of pressure. It happened to a lot of the machines we built. Now, Dusty, what happened to them?
Oh, they came apart. They, some of them with more catastrophe than others, but
Let's see. The designs that did work when they had pressure welling up in them were ones where we relieved that pressure, had an exit valve. Had a vent. For a lot of people, this emotional pressure, that they're bottling up, it needs to be released in order for that pressure to relieve itself or go down.
see. He just kind of like nods to himself. He says, "So, um, I mean, I've tried here and there to do some things, but I haven't really found a way to get that to work. What would you suggest?"
Well, what worked for me was having a confidant. That was Thea. He kind of looks over at where Thea's like rubbing Nori's back and patting her. And you see that look on his face again, that you saw so many years ago. A small smile, and his eyes that just looked locked onto her. And he says, it's been a while since I had felt like that before I had met Thea. And, well, it's been a relief to say.
Dusty nods. So, when I find this person, what do I do?
Well, it just depends. For me, I talk with her. Lady Noir, so Dusty just needs a girlfriend. No!
As it turns out, it is that. No, I'm kidding.
No, it depends. This is how it worked for.
Hey, Dusty's interpreting. Dusty's extrapolating. These are words he's receiving, and he is interpreting them in ways.
He's interpreting them in ways. Okay, yeah. So he says, well, I mean, just simply being with Thea and talking to her, it's different for a lot of people. You notice his cheeks kind of get a little pink, a little red. Maybe he's overheating. But he kind of is like he clears his throat. He's like, well, you know, it's each their own. Maybe you ask one of your friends about this. Maybe ask Thea if she has any other way.
Maybe ask. That's funny. Ask your mother.
Yeah. Any other questions for me?
Let's see.
He kind of runs his hands through his hair. He's like, you seem fine.
No, not particularly. That makes sense. It's an answer. Not
Yeah.
the answer I wanted, but it is an answer.
Yeah.
How how far along were you in these processes that the drow had you doing? How far did you get before we got here? How much did they make you do?
Well, I had to do quite a bit of research. Read a lot of notes written by someone by the name of Elora, which I spoke with Echo and Val about quite at length the other day. But predominantly they were wanting me to build them an army and weapons, and I'm not happy, but I did build some things. Not Garbadar Shubsha. Nope. Nope.
I was this close to saying that. I'm glad.
No, it
Any
was...
author of any book, it's always Garbadar Shubusha. He's everywhere, omnipresent.
He's everywhere.
Ugh.
This is presented to you by Garbadar Shubsha. Not just
This
kidding.
episode sponsored by Garbadar Shubsha.
Yeah,
Check
no.
out Rosemary PG Studios / Garbadar Shubusha / shop. Garbadar
No,
Shubusha
none of
needs,
this is real. No, as he explains that he was reading notes by someone by the name of Aelora, so Aelora. Most of those were about some form of were basically different processes of magical transference. But they mostly had him building a lot of trying to build more mechanical men, pretty much, and he had gotten pretty far in the sense of he was not able to create another you effectively.
Okay.
He was not able to make another metal man. He just made a lot of them explode on accident.
Dusty winces.
Yeah, and then he kind of rubs the back of his neck and he looks very ashamed as he goes, I'm not gonna lie, they seem to like the explosions. And they had me harness that and make it so they could control the explosions. Effectively, I made grenades for them.
I made handheld boom devices.
Handheld boom devices. Actually, yeah, no, that's what he says. I made handheld boom devices, but they did not like the name of that, so who knows what they're calling them. And this ship was meant to be a warship for them. At least that's what I kept telling them. But it was going to be my escape plan, and, well, I'm very glad you came along. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to get it up and running.
Seemed to work. What's the difference? What's the biggest difference between me and the other metal men that you were able to create? I understand I have this core, which is unique, but what exactly does that have to do with anything?
He kind of pinches his forehead a little bit, not out of irritation, but as a it's a hard topic. As he goes, Dusty, as you want to be called, There is a force in this world. A power that keeps this land in check, in balance. I was studying for a very long time to be an artificer. I learned a great deal in my time. Found ancient books. Ones that I've actually left in a safe place. And I have met... His eyes kind of go looking up towards the sky for a moment, and he has a small smile on his face, but this one isn't of the same emotion that you saw when he looked at Thea. This one is of awe and inspiration as he looks back and he says, her name was Xenia. And she was one of the only unicorns left in this world. She called herself the Harbinger of Diligence. She had a power like none other. But her and what she said her sisters are, or at least as she explained it to me, are unable to directly aid in the world. But they are very powerful. And I trained with her and well, more wore her down after a year's worth of time. Spending, learning from her. Trying to understand more about artificery and built quite a deal of little mechanics for her. Not in any romantic way, not at all. It was purely like informational, and she was pretty cool. But in the end, she gave me what she called her token. Which, and he kind of nudges out, he nudges your heart, where your heart would be. Because that's what your core is. The token of the Harbinger of Diligence. It has great, immense power. And if the Dark Elves got a hold of you, got a hold of that, there is nothing stopping them from whatever the heck their goal is.
Dusty, he's kind of giving this like really ignorant like nod, as if he understands, but he very clearly is not fully interpreting what's being said to him. But he's just like, so it's like a powerful relic. Is what
Yes. You are the only you there ever is. That power, at least to my knowledge, the core, the heart inside of you, Dusty, you feel stress. You feel emotional pressure. You feel your emotional receptors are responding and actually working. You have opinions. You run yourself. He kind of like steps off the stool and takes a couple paces away and he kind of like is throwing his hands out a little bit as he just is in awe. You are made of metal, but you have a soul of your own. You act and are a humanoid. And he comes back over and he kind of rests his hand on your arm. He goes, "You're made of metal, but compared to some people I know, you're more human than others."
Hmm. He just kind of intakes that. Yeah, he doesn't really say very much, but he definitely is like thinking very deeply to himself. He's he then explains. He says, I suppose that makes sense. It answers a lot of the questions I've been having. But and then he kind of like tilts his head in sort of a confused posture. He says, "Does that mean that my soul comes from the relic?" Because from what I understand, I mean, matter is not something that can be created or destroyed. It just shifts, it just moves, transfers. But I always pictured in my mind soul to be matter, light matter, but matter. So, I mean,
To be fair, Dusty, I don't know everything. I don't know if that's where your soul came from, but I'd be willing to bet it is. That your core has a big part to do with it.
and I'm allowed to have this. I'm allowed to to choose and think this is something I. And he kind of like is looking now more towards Miles as he is asking directly to him. He says these are choices that I am able to make. These are okay to interact with.
The choices of what?
Like my emotions,
Oh, yeah.
my thoughts, my opinions.
Yes. That's why I made you, buddy. I. You know that my wife and son died a very long time ago. And during that time, I just devoted myself to artificery. That's during that time I met Xenia, and with the token I knew that I could do more. And, well, I just wanted him back. You see him kind of tear up a little bit as he just takes a moment and kind of has his hand pinched on the bridge of his nose. And you see him just I just wanted my boy back. He was my first buddy. And, well, I made you to fill that hole for me. That's why you were my buddy. And I have never been more proud of anyone than you. You're my son. I know that.
Dusty, he just kind of like takes his hand and like puts it on the top of like Miles's head, and he just
It's not
kind of
that
like,
short.
no, he's not that short, but he just kind of like reaches up and like puts his hand on his head, and he just kind of he says, logistically and sort of intellectually, I always thought of you as, I mean, logically, as my creator, you are my father, but for me, it's always gone a step deeper than that. I look to you for when I'm trying to make a decision. I'll think about what you would do in that circumstance. You and Thea have always been my parents, my upbringing. It's not exactly the same, but to me, you are my father. Always thought about it that way. It always seemed right, made more sense. I am happy to be called your son. It means a lot to me.
Miles kind of goes and he grips your shoulder, and he just kind of leans his forehead against yours, as he kind of like holds onto your shoulder and kind of like holds you in close. And after a moment, he lets go, steps back.
It does clear a lot of things up, though. I mean, I've been under the preconception for a while now that I am purely a created being, and a bundle of wires, mechanics, and knowledge, and of course magic. But the thought that I have a soul has always been something that eluded me. Clarifies a lot, actually.
Well, I'm glad that I could help with you with that. You've become more than what I originally made you as. You've grown. You've in a sense, created yourself. And he puts his hand on your shoulder. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Dusty.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll pause on this conversation. Unless there was something you wanted to say?
Nah,
No? Okay.
that's about it.
And we'll go back over to Amaris and Thea and Nori. Nori has been over the side, not quite retching, but very seasick and nauseous. And after a little while, you do steel yourself with a Constitution save of 15. So you're no longer sick. You guys did see, like, Dusty getting opened up a bit. Both physically and emotionally.
Just to note, this whole time, because when Houdini went over, she never subtracted from his senses, so she heard the entire thing.
So she's kind of like, Dusty has what in him?
So, yeah, continue with what your description is.
Alrighty. So we're gonna say around this time, you come to yourself as they've kind of gotten to a lull in the conversation.
I don't know what she does.
Okay, Amaris.
She's now, instead of leaning over the side, she has switched to just looking as if she's looking out at the distance, and she looks okay, but be noted, she actually can't see what she's seeing or hear people around her. She's just by Dusty.
I'm gonna have... Okay, Thea's rolling. Okay.
We're just like processing this information. We're just both like, okay.
Yeah. Dusty's got a pretty awesome heart.
Yeah, it's pretty hype. He's like, yeah, it's got lots of magical energy. It's called the some unicorn thing or whatever, token majig. It's a lot less relevant than like him having a soul in his mind. He's like, yeah, this answers a lot of my questions actually. Now that
The
I'm thinking about
token
it.
of the Harbinger of Diligence.
Yeah, it's like a unicorn magic item or something. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm sure it's not important. I'm sure it's fine.
No.
For Dusty, it honestly is just some object that powers it. It's basically a battery in his mind.
He's like, "Aye, alright, battery."
Cool.
Alrighty. Amaris, what are you doing? You're right next to Thea and Nori, who's just looking out there, but Thea's like she's turned to you. Yeah.
Amaris, well, she came up, looked up at the deck, and saw what was going on with Dusty. How he was basically stripped of his armor, his bandages, and all that. And she like quickly looks away and like has her hand up, like with the blanket, like to cover it. She's just like, I don't know how to feel about this.
Is he naked? I don't know. No, answer is no. It's all the children
this guy,
watching.
should I be concerned?
He's a
Should I
robot.
not be concerned?
But she's just like, he's a robot. Like he's like in some way he's basically a person, but not really a person. Is this right? Is this wrong? What's happening? And just like does not want to look.
Yeah. Okay. Thea goes, get any rest?
Yeah, totally.
Well, now that we've... she just kind of laughs at you a little bit. Now that we've gotten a fair distance away from Miles's danger. I mean, we're still in the Winter Court, which is not very fun, but We should be nearing our destination soon. But it's good to see you again, cousin. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
I have wondered about Sierra meant Nori mentioned
I did? I did.
Nori mentioned about Dane, and I'm very sorry to hear about her.
Mars just nods. Oh, hey, we have the means of fixing it.
I do hope so. We'll fix her, and I guess, and she kind of pats the edge of the ship. She goes, with Miles's escape plan, I'm sure traveling distances will make it a lot easier.
Easier, yes. And then looks over at Nuri. But on physical well-being,
I know, being with cousins can sometimes be irritating, or even sisters. And then she goes over and she smacks Nori on the back of the head.
She like, ow, goes forwards, and at that point she will drop Houdini's stuff. And she'll be holding the back of her head and rubbing it. Like, what was that for?
I said you were annoying.
That doesn't constitute hitting someone.
You can take it.
and that's not what I meant.
What, do you think that we're going to all have a sleepover and braid each other's hair like we did when we were young little kids?
I was talking about the fact that just a few seconds ago she was throwing up over the side.
Oh! That makes more sense. Yeah. Oh, she pats you on the back, Nori, a little bit, and she goes, oh, I thought you were over that.
She just waves her off, try to cover that she wasn't listening this entire time.
Yeah, and Thea actually rolled for it and on insight on you, and she failed. So that's why she thought you were listening.
That was point. Yay.
Yeah, she goes, well, what do you think of my boy? And then she kind of is like, I mean, Dusty. As she kind of points over, she's like, look, he's a robot.
I
helped build
very
him.
well.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
I'm very aware that he is a robot. He told us.
Yeah, but Miles did an amazing job, I just gotta admit.
Yeah. And first time meeting him, I never even knew.
That's the beauty of it.
Amaris nods. It really is incredible.
Dusty's the only one of his kind. But, yeah, maybe in the future, maybe we can make more. Just for him to have friends like him, I guess. Not that you guys aren't friend enough, but it's very nice to be able to, see friends and family and that are like me. Yes, I have a lot of friends that are of other races. Don't get me wrong, that's totally, that's okay. I'm not trying to say anything against that. All I'm saying is that it's nice to have someone that understands in that way.
It really is.
As
I disagree, but continue.
well, I mean, I'm not a robot. I'm never going to be able to understand what it is to be a robot. I don't know what that is like. But I do feel emotions just like him. And I can understand what he's going through with that. I want him to be able to have the best life he can. And I want him to feel accepted by others. And right now he has to hide who he is. All I'm saying is I think it'd be nice if one day he'd be able to have someone that he could share that with.
Nori seems to be holding back a lot of words.
Oh, I know why. She goes, I know what you're thinking, because I disapprove of Esmond. Is that why? Is that why you're upset?
You think I disapprove of Dusty or Miles? No. I disapprove of this philosophy that you think he has to have a robot to have a place in the world.
I'm not saying he needs to have that to have a place in the
You said it
world.
yourself. He's one of a kind. There's not going to be another like him. So stop trying to come up with this idea that once there's more robots and once they're accepted, then yay, he'll finally be happy. He'll finally have someone who understands him. He has family and friends right now, so stop and just love him and adore him, okay?
I do.
Stop.
All I'm saying is I want a future where he can be able to have someone that is like him.
There's not going to be another like him. He's one of a kind. You literally just said this.
As of right now.
Okay.
As of right now, and I mean it is okay.
In a physical sense, there's lots of people like him. That's not in a physical sense, on emotional and intellect and any other way. Just not in physical appearance, and that's okay.
Fun. Agree to disagree on the topic. Either way, we both want what's best for Dusty.
I'm gonna go get some air. It's just
You have air. We're outside.
space. I'm getting space. I'm just gonna walk away to a different part of the ship.
See, Amaris, see what the fighting never stops.
Hey, at least it's normal family fighting.
That's true. It's not like we're trying to slit each other's throats, which is nice. Sierra,
How far did I get away?
you got far. Let's say you walked away.
Okay. Because if she heard that, she would have spun right back around. But
I really wish I had a bowl of popcorn I had to improvise.
This is the closest I've got.
There we go. Okay. Anyways, as you kind of walk away. Oh, Amaris, were you saying something?
Well, as she's saying that, of course she's probably seeing it as a joking way, but Mars isn't laughing.
Oh! I forgot! Thea totally forgot too. I'm gonna make that canon.
well, she only just found out about that.
This is true. She totally forgot.
Yeah, she found out about it in one heated night where you guys were also kind of half drunk. So
canon. She forgore.
That's why Nuri was gonna turn around because of that comment. She was gonna be like, "Oh no, you didn't." She didn't hear it.
Yeah, because Thea was totally ha ha. At least we're not at each other's throat, trying to slice each other's. And Mars is like. My sisters tried to
Same.
murder me.
And they succeeded.
Oh gosh. Well.
Amaris will remember that.
Oh my gosh, it's like one of those like telltale stories where it's like Mars will remember the little like alert.
The Henry Stickmin.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So as Nori, you're kind of storming away. And after this comment is said to you, Amaris, you guys feel the ship lurch a little bit, rock kind of violently side to side, and then kind of like level out. And then everything goes still for a moment. And Thea kind of is holding onto the edge. And she peers over as everyone's kind of like, what's happening? And as she peers over the edge, you just see flying up a large black tentacle that starts to wave in the sky. We need to roll for initiative.
Oh,
Great, we're fighting the Kraken.
Are we over water right now?
No,
Huh.
you guys are in the woods.
no.
I'm actually gonna bring you guys to the other page, the other map that I had you on.
Can't believe it. Douse has finally unleashed his full potential. This is such a big
terrifying.
moment for him. I'm also horrified.
You mean Dusty?
No, Douse.
Douse,
Because of the
with
water
his
whip.
magic tentacle whips. It's
He now has-
horrifying.
Wow, Dallas has finally unleashed his water whips.
He comes out, his eyes are glowing. Oh no, he's been possessed. Way speaks, finally, my vessel has fully submitted to my will. No!
Oh, no.
Alrighty. So you guys are, sorry, you're gonna need to have to, I'm adding a turn for you guys. Let's see. Okay. This guy's not here right now because he's downstairs. Okay, so if everyone could just put their... Got an 8. Sierra got an 11. Okay. Dusty got a 13. Okay, let me roll for the... Natural 20 for the NPCs, guys. Natural
Is that a good or
20.
bad thing?
No, for the NPCs.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
Question mark.
Hopefully the enemies have a separate initiative here.
They do. I just
I'm
need to get a token
glad.
out for them. For some reason, I don't know if I have a good token for it. I'm just going to use, it does not look like this like plant vine thing. This is just the token I'm going to use. Okay? Just so everybody knows that.
Alright.
Okay.
I would be satisfied with just the spider token. I think the spider token's the funniest thing. I like it very much.
No, we're not doing the spider token. Also, why did everybody's initiatives leave?
It is there on my screen. I have a 13 and then 4 people have 0.
Oh no.
Hey,
Is the drow that caught up to us? Because I wouldn't be surprised, because we literally just like are in the air, flying right by the base that we had to sneak in through for the magic portal. So
Yeah.
is that what the wow? Wow.
Wow.
impressive. Impressive.
Wow.
Quite impressive. This is all they've got?
No.
That's easy.
It's not
Simple.
quite that. You guys have been kind of trying to avoid the cities.
Yeah.
No, Amaris, she's gone.
Are you
Megan
returned?
returned to us.
She is back.
Oh, she is?
You just have to put her picture back up.
No, she's not in the call for me.
What?
Really?
This is
You're a
shenanigans.
ghost, Megan. You're
Hey,
a
all I'm
ghost.
saying is, online we have never had any technical issues ever in our campaigns ever at all. It's pretty
Wow.
fantastic.
Gaslighting ever.
I'm just gaslighting myself. Maybe if I gaslight hard enough, maybe I'll forget.
I'm
You
going to
know,
say there's a tentacle also up here that I'm just going to say for the purposes of this battle, Douse, Echo, and Val are fighting these ones. Because they're not here tonight. We're just going to say they're fighting this other tentacle.
they're
Okay.
helping. Yeah, that makes sense. They're helping. Nah, they just decided to sit out. They're like, I
We
don't
got
know.
this. We
They've
just
got
gotta
this.
watch, you know.
I'm kind of tired. I need to water my bracelet. Yeah, I need to
Too much
refill my
babysitting.
flask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me make sure I've got the... Got the boss music coming on.
Boss music. Da, 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 da.
As you guys hear,
It's like Frosty the Snowman. boss
did it not?
music.
So scary.
Oh, we're gonna die.
All the explosions
no.
and booms.
Oh no! What if I plug one ear into the live stream and then I can hear the music?
Boom!
also?
Sorry, I'm
Oh,
having fun
no.
with sound effects. But, anyways, so you guys... What you guys hear is, or see, is this black, inky tendril that looks like a giant tentacle coming up and shooting basically straight up and kind of towards where you guys are. And you see a second one appear back at near the back of the boat for the other guys to fight, and another one on the exact other side of the ship. Whoopsies. Okay. I was just moving everyone back to where they were. And let's let the battle begin.
Can you see Megan now?
No, I don't see or hear her. She might have to leave the call and re-enter.
It's she laments that she is right there. This is sad. Bye, Megan.
Bye, friend.
Okay. The old turn
Yeah,
off
she
and
just
on
like
again.
glitched out and like vanished, basically.
This is sad. Top 10 anime betrayals. Hey, all I'm saying is, if we had the means, in-person D&D would be incredible. Bless you. Would be incredible. Bless you. Second
Yeah,
time.
it would be very fun for
No!
Can you see Megan or hear her?
I see her in the call. I can't hear her until I
Ah.
put her on the stream.
Okay,
Okay,
put her on
you're on the stream now. Can you talk, Megan?
Speak.
Hello.
You're here! You're back! Yay!
Wow. Online D&D is the best.
Wow!
This is my favorite. This is my favorite D&D. The best one.
It's the NPC's turn.
They got nat 20.
They're fighting over here and doing stuff. As you see, Douse, Val, and Echo are all trying to figure out. They're mostly caught in shock by this tendril, this black inky tendril. I'll say you see Val and Echo pulling out crossbows and shooting at it, and the arrows just go straight through the tendril, like
Oh.
straight into it, and you just don't see them anymore. They don't come out the other end, but it doesn't seem like it's fully like physical. Like it seems almost magical in nature. It goes into the darkness of the tendril and they disappear.
When you say magic in nature, like it's been summoned by magic, or that it's a magical creature?
Not a magical creature, but you can't.
Okay.
It doesn't seem too much like a summons. Like it seems like magic itself.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not a creature. Just making the... If the music is too loud for you guys, let me know.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
I guess.
Perfect. Alrighty. As you guys are encountering these giant leaves, or not leaf monsters, because they aren't leaf monsters, they're the black tendrils. Since Thea is like right there on the edge of the boat, and this thing has come up right there, she is going to fire at it. Wow, that was a really unlucky roll. And completely misses it, even though she's right in front of it. But it's because she has disadvantage, because it's right in front of her, kind of a thing. The sad part is that she rolled a 2 and a 20. Sad.
Oh, wow.
Never lucky.
Never lucky. Okay, it is now its turn. Let me pull up the sheet on it. It's right over here. I have it right here.
The first thing she just does an instant kill. So shocking. Oh no.
Wow.
That is her MO.
My
And that's what
gosh,
she does.
guys.
Just
Oh. Wait a minute. No. Theory.
hypothesis.
If it's not the drow, then it's one of the wrens, and we're flying above one.
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis. Are you gonna look down?
I'll cast Lesser Restoration. Does it
No,
make
it makes
it
it
worse?
worse. It makes it worse. Don't do that. It makes it worse.
Me,
For
cast
us.
Lesser Restoration. Head splits off 2 more.
Okay.
It's a Hydra!
No. That'd be bad news.
Sorry, I've gotta... I've got to do that. So I've got all the things right here.
Wait, but if it was a rend, unless this is just a map, just for a map, because if it's exactly like the same spot we were, there wasn't a rend 9 hours, 10 hours before.
No, this is a different area. You guys are not over the
Okay.
same area you guys were before.
Okay, that's good.
Wait. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So that's...
She actually hit the thing? I guess if she hit it because of her assassin thing, that'd make it a natural. It'd make it a critical. Sorry.
No, sorry, I'm just calculating how many dice they roll.
Oh, never mind.
I don't like that calculation.
She's
so
throwing
it's
out
like-
teen numbers. How many dice in the teens? Are you kidding?
No. It has a condition as to like if it has this certain number, then it gets this certain number. So
Okay.
Alrighty, so it's its turn. As it's going to strike at this one over here is going to strike at Thea. It's going to roll to hit. Oh, what was the... Roll the hit.
I have
Okay.
a feeling we're about to be TPK'd. Calling it now.
Nah.
Not if you run away.
Well, we're on a flying ship, so technically, how
Yeah.
fast are we?
We're on a boat.
So he rolled an 18 to hit, so he hit her. And the tentacle comes and strikes down, and it's going to deal. Ah, man, I'm gonna roll on this thing.
Smart
Um,
choice. When you're rolling in the teens.
Rolling just plural of dice. I mean, there's more than one. There's at least
Slash
two.
like
roll.
15 or something.
Slash roll. 100.
So that's gonna be 34 points of damage.
Well, okay, it's only 86. That's a lot better than I thought.
No, it's 9d6.
96.
Okay.
9d6. So she'll be rolling. That's what they roll.
96.
And 7d6 of that is necrotic damage. So,
Oh, dang.
yeah.
My kind of people.
Yeah.
We'll get along swimming.
So well.
So she takes 34, which is a huge chunk of her. That's a chunk.
Yeah.
And she just kind of as she kind of like looks very hurt, very like weakened. This one is going to try and smack at Nuri as it will move over.
Does it want to though?
It
I
kinda
mean,
does.
I'm pretty innocent looking.
It does. I should roll my blood dice, right?
No.
It's a crit. No, just kidding. Just kidding. It's a 19 to
Just
hit.
Oh, that hits. I don't even have to look at my stuff for that.
She
You're gonna take 32 points of
oh,
damage.
yeah, 2 less than last time, guys.
So
Yeah.
I'm barely alive.
Wizard problems. Where's our martial class? We still don't
Why
have
isn't
one.
And I'm gonna say one of it. Let's roll for that one. It hits. Douse gets hit pretty badly. And backs away.
Oh, that's where he is.
Yeah, they're fighting
Oh,
another one
yeah.
up here. Thea will turn to Dusty and Miles and shout, "Get us out of here!"
Dusty's like nodding very frantically.
Okay, Dusty, it's your turn.
Okay. Dusty is going to, as best he can, just like he's going to first try to have the ship move forward.
'Kay.
And just move out of range, out of these guys.
The ship, you can move it forward, and it is very like fast, pretty much.
Mm,
And fast enough to break through walls, so
yes.
stone walls.
Yeah, and also these things aren't technically grappling you guys yet.
Yet. Keyword.
They are on the side of the ship, though.
No, so
This
they
side.
actually don't come with you. They were over here.
Oh, okay, that's good. I'm glad.
Relief.
Good. Dusty's just watching everyone get mauled. He's just like, let's not do this.
Just learned he has a soul and then immediately sees all his friends get ripped to shreds.
Fine, it's not the first time you've seen that.
So you actually have driven the boat out of the range of the tendrils. Nori, it's your turn if you would like to look back.
Yes, I'm gonna look back. However, I'm not gonna use that as my action because I'm gonna actually have Houdini fly to the end of the ship because he technically acts on like a separate initiative count thing, and he's gonna look and tell Nuri what it is.
Okay, so you see from Houdini that there is this dark, deep black rend in the earth. It's
I
just
was right.
it's just full of darkness, and you see like death and decay around it, trees rotting and snow melting, and just everything that it touches is dead and death. And these tendrils, as you guys start to get further away where they can't reach you, they shrink back down into the main mass of the rend, and they continue working slowly. It's not like terribly fast, but like it is working out to consume more.
Okay.
And with that,
Well, Nuri's turn. She's gonna just cast Dispel Magic, see what happens. It's 120 feet.
you cast a spell magic, and your spell slot is used, and nothing happens.
Yeah, just gotta get some research in while we're at it. Okay, I'm done.
Alrighty. It is Amaris's turn. What are you wanting to do?
Okay. How far are we from this rend?
You guys are at this point. You guys are about like 20 feet from it. Sorry, this one was supposed to be further down.
Perfect.
Well, at least the back of the boat is.
Alright, let's see here. Go here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna head to the back of the boat. And let's do a little bit more research. We're gonna cast Shatter.
Okay. You cast Shatter in that area towards the rend, and nothing seems to happen. And your spell slot is used.
Okay, so weapons don't hurt it. Magic doesn't hurt it.
Yeah. Alrighty. With that, you guys are able to get away from it. And you guys are able to speed off towards your ultimate place of trying to go is to the Toadstool Rings.
Hopefully. We need to do some research on that stuff. Need to figure that out.
Oh, whoops. Hold on.
Ah!
Ah!
Doppelgangers!
No! Ah!
Oh no!
Hold on. Hold on.
Ah!
Oh, no.
Doppelgangers!
No. You guys spot the little cabin.
Ha! How
Or
many
the little
drow are down
silo
there?
in the barn.
How many drow are down there?
None that you see.
Quick, save the horses.
We need to get the horses. Do you have like? You have levitation magic, right, Nori?
I do.
Do you have enough to pick up both Lucky and Trapper by chance?
Up. Nah, I can only do up to 500 pounds. Horses generally weigh more than that, I think. See.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Google how much does a horse weigh?
How much does the average? Well, we canonically we know which type of horse these are.
That's
horses
true.
these are as well. I don't remember
They're
which it
bigger
is,
horses than
but
that.
they're bigger
the,
horses.
They're the ones that pull carriages, and an average horse is 930 pounds, and they're bigger than that. So
D&D,
it's not happening.
I'm checking. Did you Google it, or did you check the D&D stuff? Because
I googled how much a horse weighs, but I did not
Hold on.
Google what D&D says a horse weighs. But I don't think
I'm
it says how much a horse weighs.
I'm looking it up.
Miles is like, we can just land.
No, this is too dangerous.
We'll send some people down to like rappel down and like put some more ropes around them and like pull them up. It'll work out great.
Why?
Gotta rescue the horses.
Rescue mission.
Technically, I could cast. Oh wait, does it require concentration? Darn it! Never mind. Both require concentration. Because otherwise, I could have done the sphere spell on the horse and then levitated the sphere.
Sphere.
Because that practically weighs nothing.
See, this is big brain time.
There
Hold
you
on.
go.
How can we do this without landing? See, my goal is to make this as
Anybody else have
complicated as
levitation?
possible.
Well, one of you have to open the door and get the horses.
Oh,
No.
They're in the stable.
No.
well. Mars, you haven't been hit. How do you want to go down?
And Dusty can't leave.
Yeah, I can lower. I mean, I can lower the boat, and then we can get the horses up. Do we have any like? Yeah, we got on here. There's stairs. There's
Okay,
something.
well,
I can make you.
But they're going to see the door open.
This is true.
The wind. Charisma.
Perhaps.
How about disguise self?
That works too.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's probably a good idea.
Disguise yourself as the one that was eaten by the scorpion, because there's no evidence that he was ever killed. All the blood was cleaned up and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no evidence.
You know, Dusty's not gonna have to eat for a while. He's full. He's full
Oh,
for
he's
another
full for-
couple weeks.
Days.
Oh no.
He's eaten a lot. Okay,
He has
so how are
eaten
you
a
getting the horses?
I will lower the boat to a place outside of sight line of where this. Yeah, like right there. Yeah, exactly where it is.
It's still kind of obvious, and
It's
it is
also a
daytime.
massive flying boat
It's-
during the day.
Yeah.
We'll land.
Thankfully, you do not see anyone out there.
Something.
As we land, I'm gonna start casting. I don't know if this is gonna take 10 minutes, but in case it does, she casts the sphere around where Dusty is,
Okay.
so that nothing can attack it. Like, no one can come in unless they've been designated that they can. Spells can't come in.
On him.
Essentially, safety. Yes. Well, it's 10, 20 foot radius, maybe? No, 10 foot
Okay.
radius.
Miles is in that bubble
Tiny
then.
Yes. I'm casting Tiny Hut, and I'll be in there as well.
Tiny
'Cause I
Hut.
have to be in it. I'll be
Okay.
watching from outside inside the sphere.
Okay.
And then Amaris is casting disguise self on herself to make her look like the drow soldier that we fed to Dusty.
Good thing you don't let Dusty out right now. He'd be going.
I thought I hate you already.
And she's going to hop off the boat and head into the stable.
Alrighty, you open up the door. Here, where are you?
I'm at the back of the boat.
You can move yourself around.
All right. Gonna try and open the door.
Okay. You see what you see. You see Lucky and Trapper right where you left them. Just vibing, eating some hay.
Are the drow still there?
You don't see anything. You know they were left in the back stall.
You know what? I'm not even gonna check. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna like reach out and brush my hand against the horses so that they know it's me and it doesn't work on them.
The disguise.
The
Once
disguise
you
doesn't
do
work
that,
on
they
them.
seem to like calm. They seem to just be like more tense when you came in, but then they calm down once they recognize that it was you.
And I'm just gonna like hold up my finger to mimic like be quiet. We're gonna go.
You notice Trapper goes like nods very emphatically, like and you hear other like horse noises in the barn, so it's not like his his horse noises out of the ordinary.
Right.
Lucky just follows next to Trapper.
Right, and she's gonna like get the reins and guide them out.
Steal the third horse as well.
But what if there are drow hiding?
This is true. We don't need any more drow murdered.
Alright. I take them out and I take them back to the boat.
Okay. Alrighty, you are able to bring them on the boat. By what? Lifting them up or like?
How are we going? Do we have a like a
Well, is there a plank
ladder?
thing that goes
Yeah,
down?
there's a
Yeah,
plank. You can get them on the
thing.
boat.
Yeah, we'll plank them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll let them. They are it will take a hot minute because
The old
they're
plank thing.
they
Yeah.
are kind of skittish on the plank because they're going up pretty high.
It's pretty scary stuff.
But they
Uh,
do manage to get on the boat.
Nice.
Fly
Good.
away.
Good. Dusty, he turns over. He sees Lucky and Trapper, and he says, "Oh, good. There, we got him. All right. Let's go." And then he'll begin moving up and back towards our desired location at the Toad Ring. The
Toadstool
one.
rings.
That's the one.
Okay. I'm bringing
Good.
you
Gotta
over.
pick up the carriage on the way now too.
Oh no.
It's
That one though, we could just put some ropes on and just dangle it below the ship.
trying to get it on. You have two planks. You could put like the two down
Oh,
at the
okay,
width of
and
the
then-
wheels.
Yeah, and then we can pull it
Yeah,
up.
we could
Yeah,
pull it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Val and Echo, you know.
Yeah, Val and Echo and
Val and
Dallas, they
Echo,
help.
Val and Echo. Yeah.
Okay.
This whole time, Nuri's still keeping the bubble, the tiny hut, up over Dusty just in case an ambush happens.
Mm.
And the driving mechanics.
This is-
Okay.
This is important. Good. Also, Dusty mentions that it is possible that Lucky and Trapper may have had some sort of tracking spell, something cast on them. I don't know if you have any detect magic or anything
I do.
like that. But just in case. To my knowledge, they are not magical, but I've actually never checked. Might have been a good thing to check. Oh well.
I can identify the horses. So as they're getting the carriages up, she's gonna identify the horses.
Okay. You cast Identify. It gives you whatever breed you guys had selected that they were. It tells you what breed they are. It tells you their age. I don't know horse years, but
That's the wrong one.
they're
That's
decently young. They're not old. They're like, if
that's
I
fine.
were to equate it to like human years, they're probably like
Oh, I put it in 3 times. Whoops.
18, 20 in human years,
Okay.
you know, but like I don't know what that equates to in horse years. What, like 2 or 3? I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the sense of maturity wise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know how
Yeah.
many regular years equates to them being mentally 18 to 20. So somewhere around there. However long that is for a horse.
Some canonical. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, yeah, you guys can figure that out. But
It's like
as
3.5 years in horses for every human year.
okay,
So
so if
Yeah,
they're
it's,
like 3, 6, 9, 10, wait, 12.
According to this arbitrary chart I found, a horse at the age of 3 is approximately equivalent to a human at the age of 17. It is a thing on Pinterest, so I cannot confirm.
All right, so I'm gonna say they're around like 3 or
canonical
4.
reasoning.
3 or 4.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Sounds good.
Okay. 3 or 4. Somewhere around there. Anyways, with the rest of your identify, you do not see anything of the sorts. You do actually see a spell that has been placed on both of them. Not a tracking spell, weirdly enough. It's actually a spell that protects their hooves from getting more damage from like rocks in the road and stuff like that. It's a hoof protection spell. You can identify that it was put on them many years ago, and it has like, and it's basically like ingrained in the horseshoes that are on their feet.
Cool.
they're good.
They have
a
magic.
spell protecting their hoofs. We're good.
Oh, cool.
Hooves.
Hooves.
Disease.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Houdini?
It's one of the things that you didn't realize, that when you bought the horses, they came included with them.
Epic.
Oh, nice.
Keeps you coming back to that person for horses.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We'll come back for horses when we need more horses. We won't need more horses.
Okay.
Unless bad things happen. The
So
blood
you
dice.
guys come back to the toadstool ring, and from atop your boat that does not fit in the toadstool ring. The toadstool ring is like a tiny section of your boat. And you see Brock, the toadstool fae, looking up at you. And there's just like frogs surrounding him. And he's like, hello, 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 hello.
Hi.
He actually says the echoes.
Dusty responds with a single hi.
Hi, hi, hi. No, just kidding, just kidding.
He does it. Yeah, we want to get back through to the material plane.
This is going to be a bigger charge. And you see Thea just go, oh my gosh. And she reaches into her bag of holding. And you see her pull out 5 frogs and just huck them down.
Are they dead frogs or statue frogs? They're in the bag of holding. They can't live in there.
Yeah. They are not dead frogs. They're plush frogs.
Oh, okay.
No, I see.
Sorry. She throws a whole bunch of flush frogs down. Like 5. And they just kind of scatter. And as they get closer to him, you see him kind of wave his hand. And they descend very slowly, like a feather fall.
He protects
And he snags, yeah, they're his frog collection. And he snags them all, and he hugs them close, and he is like, okay, 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 okay.
You can stop doing that.
I don't want to. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay, good.
It's a new training with the frogs.
Dusty just kind of like looks back towards the party and shakes his head. Whatever.
Nuri's just gonna shout over, send us through the portal! 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 Please! 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 Please!
And he goes, absolutely! With great haste! 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 Haste!
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
And he snaps his finger, twirls around, and disappears behind a tree. As you guys see, if you're looking down, you see the little tiny circle filling up with that gold energy again.
Guys, what about our carriage?
It's on the ship.
Yeah, we got
Okay,
it. We got it. Canonically, we have it.
Yeah. And you see that golden light swirling, and leaves begin, and pine needles, because this is kind of the area where there's a lot of evergreens and whatnot, kind of swirl around, and they start to move upwards, higher and higher, and as they hit... Got to talk to the frog guy in his language. As they hit the bottom of the boat, you guys don't see anything until suddenly all the gold energy is coming up along the sides of the boat and swirling up around you. This is a very different experience than before, in the sense of it is way larger as you guys travel through this, and it closes above you, the golden energy and the pine needles swirling around. And as it gets to its peak, you feel that lurching in your stomach again. And Nuri, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. And Amaris, actually, because of the last time you were in one of these.
Oh, ye of weak stomachs. Imagine having a stomach.
Wow, Dusty,
Hey.
that's a low blow.
Hey, that only happened because Amaris was drunk. And okay.
You got a natural one!
That only happened
Only
to
happened because
Amara.
she was drunk.
Yeah,
This is
so...
in game. That's what Amara says. Hey, that only happened because I was.
Yeah, you're like, because I was drunk. And then you're like, you run to the side of the boat and you hurl over the side.
Over the side.
And Nuri, with your Constitution save of 13, you actually feel okay. You're like,
Yay.
I've been through this portal before. This is good. And
Well trust.
you guys are able to make it back to... Where was the other one? Was it in this one? No, it's not that one. That one's an old one. Sorry, I'm trying to find the toadstool ring. From the other one. That's okay. We're just gonna, it's in a forest, but we're just gonna put you on this forest path here.
Nice.
Ah! I took the ring with me. Oh no. Why is that not in the map? Okay. There we go. Now you're back. Oh shoot, I forgot the freaking... Okay, hold on.
To Lake Mount.
I forgot the to copy the fact that you're
On a giant ship.
no, your carriage.
Oh.
Give me one sec. I'm trying to bring you guys. Okay.
We did leave the carriage.
No!
No.
Money!
The money, the horse feed.
Yeah, the real reason we need it. The horse feed.
There we go.
Yes.
You made it.
Wow.
Yay!
31 horse
A very
rations.
wooded area. You see Brock peek out from behind a tree that now has vomit on it. And he just scowls at you, Amaris. He is not happy. And he points at you. And he says, "You owe me a frog."
Amaris is hanging over the side and like, you can blame that on the nat 1. And
You know, those nat ones, they,
And he
What is
is
that one?
very not happy with you, Amaris. And he is going, you just see him kind of growl and snap 3 times. And then he vanishes behind the tree.
oh, okay, I thought he was gonna turn me into a frog.
Right?
No, you feel kind of tingly
no.
inside.
oh,
But you
no.
don't know
Oh, no.
what he did.
Oh, oh no.
You've been cursed.
No.
Yes,
Maybe the-
you have
maybe the
been
tingling-
cursed.
Maybe the tingling is just from you, like, throwing up. It's your system reprocessing.
Reprocessing.
That's how it is.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Reprocessing.
Okay. Well, Dusty says, well, where to now?
We need to go back to Lake Mount. We have the diamonds.
Yep.
I'm gonna actually pull out the diamonds, and I don't know if I can tell how much they're worth, but I hope they're worth a lot. Economy inflection, does that make them worth a lot
think
more?
about it. If there's less diamonds, that means they're worth more, right?
Right?
Well,
Right?
there's
Right?
also a
Supply
certain
and
worth
demand,
to the
right?
diamonds based upon like flawlessness and so yeah.
Are they flawless?
I mean to you, yeah, they look great. You can have
There's
Miles inspect them and tell you their worth.
secretly there's like
Miles, what are they worth?
there's like a god of value determination, and he is the one who
Oh.
decides how much the diamonds are worth. Is
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
his power.
Uh,
That's actually amazing.
yeah, okay. So, Miles, how many diamonds do you have?
I have, I believe, 7. Let me scroll down and look. Diamonds. I have 7 diamonds.
Okay. You have 7 diamonds. Let me look at this real quick on my end. Okay. So, 4 of those diamonds are 1,000 gold pieces worth. The other 3, because 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. The other 3 are worth 500.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, yes, we need to go back. We have the diamonds.
Okay.
To Lake Mount. Yes.
Alrighty. To Lake Mount.
Maybe hide the boat?
How?
I don't know. We'll make a very big entrance if we fly into Lake Mount.
Do you want me to
Yes.
put it in camouflage mode?
Oh, there's one of
You
those.
have that, and we weren't using it the entire time.
I didn't think it would work, and I didn't want to overexert Dusty when we were trying to run away.
Fair.
It's fair.
Focusing on speed and all that. Sure. Yeah.
Let's go into camo mode.
Sure. Let's turn on camouflage mode. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. So you go up to it. And Dusty, this is going to what's the highest spell slot that you have, and how many slots do you have of it?
Fourth, and I have one of those.
Okay, it's going to expend your fourth spell slot.
Okay, good.
But effectively, when you do that, you guys don't see anything different. Like, everything looks the same to you. But from the outside, it looks as if you guys have disappeared. It's like a reflection almost, like seeing a mirror.
Visibility.
But not in the sense of like if they're looking up at the sky, it's going to look at the sky even if the boat is like right above them, kind of a thing.
Invisibility, yay! I lost my favorite pencil.
But like if someone was like really focusing and really like trying to see something, and if they had a really high roll, they could tell like a faint shimmer kind of a thing. It's like the same thing with invisibility, Like if someone was really like looking and trying to, and they had a really high roll, like they could spot you in one way or another, whether that's through like hearing the person or
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, he goes, it's not soundproof, like in the sense of like, if we're shouting, people will probably hear that. If we're just talking, we're high enough that people won't really hear us chatting, but.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. Amaris, you feel something behind you, like something's watching you.
He's gonna turn around.
You turn around and you see in the doorway behind you, like it's kind of dark and shadowy, and you see on the ground there's a frog, and it's just looking at you menacingly.
Menacingly.
And you blink and it's gone.
Horrifying. Horrifying. She's seeing things.
So this is the curse. I just get spied on by frogs.
Not spied on. Watched.
Glared at. Followed.
Judged.
I took water at the wrong time. I almost spat that out.
You're really good at this.
Oh my
Really
gosh.
good at this.
The frogs are watching. Always
Fear the
watching.
frogs. Fear the frogs.
Lady Noir said, "Fear the frogs."
Fear.
Fear them.
Horror. Horror.
Alright. Yes, Nuri?
Well, I just had a very good idea. We should
What?
split the party.
No,
Down.
don't split the party. The frogs are after me.
Do you actually say that?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh. Well, if you put us. Oh. I'll see what the problem is in a second.
Nerd
could.
walks away, just like my cousin has gone mad.
She's starting to see things.
The frogs are after me.
Douse could go through the toadstool and go and get Dane and bring her back. While we bring back the king, I mean, we have to wait like another day until Ami gets here, which would be good because we could bring back the king and then hide him for when Esmond comes with Ami. And then around that time, Dane would show up and we could bring her back.
Hmm.
I would say that maybe You probably would, just because Dane is not here, Douse is not here, I wouldn't want to send him out on an errand like that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would say, like, him and Miles are probably going to stay on the ship to protect the ship if you guys, like, no matter where you guys,
Very
like,
least.
dock, you know?
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
do we... I know the relationship you have is a little bit complicated with this person. Plus, we don't even know if this whole disease thing is like... I mean, if we do bring him back, is that going to be an issue? I'm not entirely sure how this affects people who are, well, conscious. Might be good to do some studying before we try bringing him back. Maybe we start somewhere else.
What if he just dies and we could just resurrect him? A lot easier than calling his soul back.
Unless he gets into another coma.
Either way, we learned something. I mean, what are we gonna do? Just lug his limp body around with us?
It's not... He looks to your bag of holding.
He's not dead.
He looks at the bag of holding. He just like shakes his head. Yeah, well, I guess you're right.
Yeah, the fact that she has a freaking dead body in there too, right?
Two,
No, I jumped one so I could
Okay,
take the
just one.
diamonds.
Just one. Just one dead body. Well, maybe you're right. Maybe we try it. What about... I mean, it'd be nice to research this a little bit before we go through with bringing him back. For all it's worth, I am awfully curious. I mean, my magic had no effect on it. So, well, actually, it did have an effect, but not what I wanted.
Well, we could just ask his son, let him make the choice.
Oh, yeah, we probably should tell him, huh?
Okay. She'll just cast sending
Cast sending to who?
to Azon.
Azon. We do have the Rocky Talkie. We could.
Oh,
use that.
wait, let's use that!
But it's on speaker. It's permanently on speaker.
Oh, wait, that's right. Never mind,
Remember.
we're not using that. Because Thea's here.
Yeah, we should talk to
So I
Azon.
will use
Thea
sending.
perks up her ears.
She's like, huh?
Like, no.
I see. Azon, huh?
Azon! We have your dad in coma and affected by Rend. Also have Diamond. Want us to wake him up? Respond. 5 words. Dot 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 dot.
Da-da.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
Nice. Alright, Azon. Hopefully he's able to respond.
Okay. So it is at nighttime, like at this point, like you guys.
It is night now?
Yeah, it like the sun has set and the moon is starting to rise.
Oh.
Because you guys have been traveling for a while, and then. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
Okay.
So you send this message, and you receive no response.
Useful. He's very useful right now.
Amaris, can you contact him through the Rocky Talkie? just shouting it or something. Wake him up.
Amaris is like looking around, making sure there's no other frogs around.
Gotta check.
Pulls out
You
the walkie-talkie.
you do see one frog in your peripheral, and when you look to see it fully, it's not there.
No.
So as
She pulls out the walkie-talkie and then she like gets Nuri by the shoulders and just moves her in front of Amaris.
So as Amaris does this, Nuri's just gonna tap her hand on her shoulder and she's gonna start identifying what's happened to her.
I'll just give you the answer with your identify. Is she has a toadstool curse on her.
Different than a spell.
What?
So is it different than a spell in the sense dispel magic won't work on it?
Yeah, it's a curse.
Okay.
Basically. So basically, she would need some sort of specific magic item that could remove curse, or she would have to fulfill, like, basically the conditions to remove the curse. Which, what you can tell with the identify is that woven into the curse, if she delivers, like, an alive frog to this toadstool, this specific one, then the curse will be removed. But basically the curse is just to have angry frogs haunt her. She and only she will hallucinate and see frogs following her for the rest of her life, if need be, if she does not fulfill her curse.
What about the afterlife?
In the afterlife, too. It will
My
haunt her.
That's horrifying.
All we need to do is find a cleric or wizard, and they can break the curse.
Yeah.
Or even just a scroll of remove curse, and then I could do it.
Yeah, like...
Or I just
You
give
go to
them
the
a
library.
frog.
That's true, you can do that too. Have a session of hunting a frog.
Fine, frog.
Sorry, well, so as that takes a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So.
But that's the curse you get. So into the Rocky Talkie, Amaris, what are you saying?
Azon, we have some critical information for you.
Wakey, wakey.
Silence. Like, you don't hear any.
Oh.
That's concerning, actually.
You're really quiet, Amaris.
Okay,
no.
sure there's no more frogs.
You don't see any right now. Right now.
Oh no.
Fear the frogs.
Azon, and she's gonna like bring it closer and just, hello.
You see Thea go over to where Miles is, so she's not paying attention to what you guys are doing. You hear nothing.
Maybe shout into it, Amaris. Just keeps tapping your hand.
Right. Mars is okay.
You see Thea, like, snaps her head over, and she's like... No response.
Jump scare.
Okay, something's wrong.
That's
Concerning.
Nuri starts to glare at Thea.
Thea's like, I did nothing. I gave him time to depart, is what I said. Remember? The night we were all
Wow.
drinking? All I said was that by the time we finished our business, whatever it was, that once we finished it, I would give him a full 24 hours to depart from the city, and then I would begin hunting him again.
Did it feel like my sending made it through to him? Like he's on the plane? Or did it seem like it didn't reach anything?
It seemed like it like reached him, but he was like unable to hear it, like unconscious kind of a thing.
Is it possible to put these things on mute?
You mute. Mute yourself. Where's the mute? That's so funny.
I don't want him to hear any of this. Click, 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 click.
Well, I'm wondering if he put his on mute.
No, that's
It's actually a fair question.
Put it on vibrate.
He's got it on his desk side. He's like, "Whoa, what?" And like slaps it and turns the alarm off.
Shut up.
And on our end, we just hear
Good.
We should definitely bring back the king then.
Yeah.
We should definitely do that. Just in case he was grabbed
I
by
mean,
the drow, the king has to be alive to stop them from taking the throne.
plus the king will have information about his captors, so
That is true. Oh, and Amaris, you're cursed. She's gonna explain the curse.
if it was anyone else telling me this, I don't think I would have believed them. But he sent his frogs after me, Yuri. They are after me. They want blood.
One appears
He's just gonna
behind
watch
you.
You just need to get him a live frog, or we can find.
Nobody else sees them.
I could not imagine having rabbits chase me. I can only imagine the horror you're going through, Amaris. I apologize. I wish I
Sheep
could
noises ring in Douse's ears.
Everyone has an animal.
We're all getting some
Everyone has
crazy
one.
fears. Mine's shadows. Everybody else's is animals.
That's
Sheep.
the scary thing.
We've got sheep,
Frogs,
frogs,
sheep,
rabbits.
and rabbits cast shadows.
They're all terrible.
Okay, so plan A. Bring back your grandfather. Bring him back,
Yes.
and then we're good.
Although he can't know I'm his granddaughter.
Oh yeah, that's a whole
He will
thing.
probably kill
He
me.
would probably kill you. I mean, that is what he did to the yeah.
We should
But
go.
but you're like a summer court elf, and so when he looks, and then he points over to Amaris, who's still just freaking
At this point, I think
actively.
I'm probably like rolled up on the ground, like I've got my knees drawn up, just like
Aw.
they're after me. They're after me.
The frogs are also
Leaves the
gone. You do
summer
not see any
court.
more.
And then
They're lying in wait.
Thea is a summer court. Well, it's just in my mind. I don't know how comfortable he'd be being awoke. Well, more comfortable than wherever he is, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure he'd be lenient with a couple summer court elves.
Especially if we're gonna just let him go. Yeah.
Turns to Thea. Just like, we are gonna let him go, right?
She just seems very upset. Her jaws like clenched and her fists are just balled so tight. And she goes, I cannot be there.
So do you want to stay on the ship then?
Sure. I'll be with Miles.
Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, the Winter Court King may not live to see the morrow.
Okay. I appreciate you being. I appreciate the restraint. I'll put it that way.
Just letting you know where my loyalties lie, at least court-wise. 'Cause you know my loyalties first lie to you and Miles. Yeah, she kind of softens a bit at that. And then she goes hard again and she goes, but when it comes to courts, I'm Summer. I am Summer.
Okay. Okay. All right. I guess that's the plan. Let's go. find. Let's go get this done.
Mary's gonna just kneel down next to Mars, gently tap her back. Do you feel like coming? Maybe we'll see a frog?
She just nods and just like, the frog came out look angry.
Okay.
Must do all to please Frog.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Mary will go get her grandfather.
Okay.
We'll carry him.
Load him into the carriage.
Alrighty. At this point, the Nat One nerds, Val and Echo will depart from you guys.
Bye, babysitters.
They have
Officially.
left you a letter to read. Hello, Seji.
Hello. Long story short, Amaris is paranoid of frogs. That's all that happened. Nothing else.
Not being attacked by wrens or
No
Yeah.
mysterious purple goop monsters. No reconciliation with Dusty and his father / understanding emotionally. None of that happened.
Yeah, okay. Who would like to read the letter out loud that Val and Echo have left for you all as they are now departing ways?
We had
I
decided
believe
maybe.
I was.
It is your responsibility.
Okay.
Aha.
Alright, is it the letter from Val and Echo?
Yes.
All right.
Seji responded, huh?
Yeah, lots. We'll catch you up.
Don't worry about it.
Alrighty. Megan,
Okay,
take it away.
To the Shards of Hope. Fate seems peculiar regarding Echo and I, but even more so for the four of you. While we continue to investigate the comas plaguing the land, we'll now keep our ears and eyes open regarding the status of the Feywild courts. It seems clear to us that all we gathered from our conversation that this heralder is a danger to everyone and must be stopped. Time is of the essence. If you'll enter an old drunkard on advice,
Entertain.
if you'll entertain an old drunkard on advice regarding drinking, I drink to recall the warmth of a once beating heart, my semblance of a lost mortality. Others drink to recall the warmth of a caring heart and a semblance of their lost morality. Some are cursed by another's dark magic. Well, doesn't that sound familiar? And others by their own dark choices. Drink to have the courage to choose that which is right over that which is easy, and you'll never have to drink to dampen guilt. I gave Nuri her flask for this very reason. Drink to friendship, companionship, and the hope that binds your group. While walking the edge of mortality, as adventurers, do not walk the edge of morality. I hope you'll bind souls back to their bodies, that they may have the chance robbed of them. If you need anything, you know, protect us. Your friends, Val and Echo.
Aw.
So sweet.
That was amazing.
We love Val and Echo.
We'll
The
see him
babysitters.
again.
Yes.
We'll see him again. It'll
We'll
be
see
fine.
again. Alrighty. As they now depart from your group, as you guys have come to Lake Mount. So your boat is hovering invisible in the air. Douse, Thea, and Miles are all staying on the ship. Dusty,
Fair.
as you're leaving the ship, in order to keep it powered, basically, Miles has instructed you to basically, before you guys leave, let me describe what happens. He asks if he can connect your core to the core of the ship to see if he can get it to run it on its own, basically.
Sure.
Okay. So what he does is he opens up your hurt box again. Um, and he pulls out some wires in the center console and basically kind of puts it in to your heart box. And you see lots of energy. You feel like weakened for a minute. It almost feels like you're getting blood drawn. You know, like when you go to a hospital or the nurse's office and they're drawing your blood, like it feels like some of it is being taken. And as you see the core of the ship kind of whirring a little bit more to life, you will gain 1 exhaustion point. As it kind of takes a chunk out of you. But then after a moment, when it starts to run itself, basically, he will safely detach the wires away from your core and close up your core and put those back into the little center console of the ship. Oh, sorry, heart box. So Miles, the creator of Dusty, basically there's a section on Dusty where he has Dusty's core, the thing that's powering his mechanical body, which we found out in this episode is actually the token of a great and powerful being, the Harbinger of Diligence. So we named.
Yeah, it didn't seem that relevant. Don't worry. Just like ancient beings and stuff. It's
powerful people.
You know, give or take.
Yeah.
Also, Hurtbox was sort of what I heard as well.
Oh, so I'm sorry. Heartbox.
I knew what you were saying, but I can lament with you.
Oh, okay. So at that point, it seems like the core itself is now powered by your core, Dusty. And the ship is powered by itself. So you do not have to have your hand in there anymore.
Okay. Dusty, after this, he's like, he seems what one would describe as like woozy. He almost seems a little bit drunk as he's swaying, like just ever so slightly. He's also very lethargic and slow at this point. And he's like almost limping as a lot of his energy has been taken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, and Miles is like, "You feeling okay?
Yep. I'll be fine.
It should regenerate. Like you should feel better after a long rest."
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. And as that happens, now the ship powers itself. So now in order to direct it, you do have to use the helm. But they will stay on the ship along with Douse as you guys can... yeah, Baymax when he's low on battery. Yes, Silver Dusk. Alright, and Nori, Dusty, and Mars, you guys head into town. Into Lake Mount.
Nice.
Head
It is-
straight to the alchemist.
Okay, and it is nighttime. But you guys do head to the Alchemist. So let me head over to the Alchemist page.
Nice.
Where is it?
So
Where's your
we're-
basement?
We're taking the cart over with him in the back. And, yeah.
Is
Okay.
Amaris driving? Can she drive?
I'm pretty sure Mars is able
Can you
to
drive Amaris?
I'm pretty sure she's able to drive.
I think I was able to do the mantas.
Yeah, you were.
This is similar.
So it's somewhat similar.
I just don't think we should have essentially a Baymax driving.
Yeah,
A low
he is,
battery one.
he is like... He gets up, he like saddles up, he like gets ready to move the horses, and he's like the horses are like moving and jolting one. Like what he's like controlling him, right? He's just like, "Hey, Amaris." Gibbs.
Amaris could take over the reins, and you guys park outside of the Alchemist cellar.
Maris is like guiding the horses, and there's an angry dog staring at her on top of the horses.
There is. It's
Yes.
just.
Dory's gonna put her cloak on her grandpa to try to like hide his identity, sling him over her shoulders, just like
Yes.
walk him out.
Alrighty. You may do so with some struggle, but not gonna lie, the area you're in Lake Mount, nobody's gonna like do a double glance on you guys.
Carrying
We're
a
like
limp
carrying
body
a
in.
body.
Like,
Like
No one even looks.
they look over, they're like, "Oh yeah, business
Just
as
another Wednesday.
usual."
I mean, Lake Mount is full of a lot of criminals.
Yeah. Also, to Seji's question, maybe not dial-up noises specifically, but there's definitely a crackling in his voice that is not usually there.
He's exhausted. Poor Dusty.
He's exhausted. His voice box is having troubles.
You need to
Getting the
power
energy
down
needed.
for a minute.
He does.
You just need to turn it off and on again. You'll feel much better.
He does. It's gonna come in handy.
Okay, so you guys head into the alchemist shop where you meet the old lady again, and she recognizes you. Sorry, I'm just trying to get you guys into the alchemist basement. She lets you into the cellar. She seems very sad and down that Douse isn't there.
Blue Boy is missing.
He's so sad. She hands you a lollipop to give him.
Okay.
So,
Just-
give this to my boy when you see him.
Yeah.
He's such a sweet man.
I agree.
And you guys go down into the cellar, and she closes the trapdoor behind you. And you actually see the alchemist sitting in her chair, and she actually seems to be snoozing. Like kind of almost falling out of the chair. She's like...
Her name was Nymph, right?
Ray.
Ray. Oh, it's Ray Nymph.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Also,
was right
this
about
is
one of them.
canonically the first time Dusty has seen her, I believe. Just so
Yeah,
she hasn't seen Dusty, and Dusty has not seen her.
that is very accurate.
Ray. Ray.
Are you coming in?
Yes.
Are you guys on the map? Did I put you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ray.
And she's
Over her
like...
shoulder.
She's like, huh? She kind of jumps, and you actually see her pull out a dagger. And then she's like, oh. And she just like, she kind of actually just like slams it into the table to keep it there. And she's like, oh, it startles me. I thought that you were, holy crud. And she sees Dusty, and she's like, oh my. You're
Puts his
very
hands
scary.
Back up a second time.
And she's like, oh my, friend? Question?
Yeah.
You. Yes, he's fine.
Okay.
The
Yep.
nephew.
And she kind of rubs the sleep from her eyes, and she's like, okay, whew, well, is it morning? Or,
It's the beginning of night. We have the first of 3 patients, and I have a diamond for each one.
oh, okay. All right.
The other 2 are not here yet, to clarify. But can you fix him? She's gonna just lay her grandfather on the ground.
Yeah, we
You
just like toss him.
On the ground, and she kind of looks up. She's like,
Peel back the. We like peel back to reveal the person underneath.
she's like, okay.
Thank you.
Dang, he looks rough. What'd you do to him?
I didn't do it. No, that we don't know. But it's definitely a coma. But it's being affected by maybe the wrens, like this black goopy thing.
She goes,
Possibly.
I remember
It's kind of an experiment.
Azon mentioned a bit about those, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't get out much often.
That's fair.
But I, well, I guess
Harry's gonna pull out 1,000 diamond.
and Ray's like, crikey. Oh. Oh right, I guess get him in the tub over here.
Pick him back up.
You just
Swallow him over.
help leverage him over.
Okay, let me actually get him
There's
out.
just a frog sitting on the tub.
Yeah, there's a frog sitting on the edge of the tub, and it's staring at you, Amaris, and it croaks.
One of us passes in front of it, and the frog's gone. The next moment.
The horror.
Guys, it spoke.
Hooray.
Guys, it spoke. Guys, it spoke.
Harry's just gonna tap your back. It's okay. It's
And
okay.
Ray looks over at you, and she's like, "What spoke?
She had a frog curse placed on her.
Oh, do you need that curse removed?
Can you do that?
I'm a cleric."
Yes, please. Maybe that first,
Very
actually.
nice. Yeah, do that actually. This is more important.
Well, are you sure you want me to remove it? If it sounds... what was the curse from? Is it...
Are you asking if we want to remove a curse or not?
Sorry, I just... It sounds like, from the frog comment, it sounds like a toadstool curse.
Yeah.
And those ones, if I were to break the curse, like, it would ruin your relationship with whatever toadstool you managed to, have them angry at you. And
That's okay.
you wouldn't really be able to travel through their toadstool anymore.
We might want
Only
to-
her, though. The rest of us will be fine. And we can hide her in the boat, and he won't know.
I bet he's got some weird shenanigan toadstool fayish magic to be able to sense presences.
I mean, I don't mess with Fae.
I don't know. You're probably right. It's probably best. I don't know.
Amaris,
Amaris, what do you
You
think?
wanna
Yeah.
remove it now?
I can remove it if you would like me to, but whatever you choose.
They're watching me. Make it stop.
Dusty gives the okay gesture. He's like,
They're watching me.
Aye. She's going to cast Remove Curse on you.
Yay!
And your curse is now lifted. But before it goes, you feel behind you, as she's casting Remove Curse on you, you look behind you and you see 8 frogs staring at you, all croaking at different times. They are staring you down as Remove Curse is cast. And they all vanish.
Well,
Higher level.
she's gonna just pass out as I'm like, ribbit.
Oh my gosh, Seji, yes, it is like Slade and Teen Titans. I kid you not.
Blade!
I was doing a mixture of Slade and Teen Titans combined with the Hobnobblers from How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Good.
Right. High or low, Emily?
Let's do low. Let's balance out the board.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Amaris passes out.
I have thought she was gonna throw up. I mean, it'd be a full cycle. It'd be a full cycle.
So she
Dory
passes
kind of
out.
catches her awkwardly as she falls and like she cripples to the ground with her and she's just like holding her in her lap and just like and pats
Is,
her head.
is that normal for removing these curses?
No. Maybe just lay her down. Not quite sure.
To quote Professor Sprout, just leave her there.
Yeah, just leave her there.
Nuri will use the cloak that she was using to cover the Winter King and instead use it as a pillow for Amaris on the ground. Like
Nice.
she'll stand by the tub, waiting to see the magic happen.
Okay, she turns to you and she says, so are we doing the coins on this one? Or...
I mean, if it's like a
Does
normal...
platinum work, or do I have to transfer them into gold?
It's got to be gold.
Then no, we're not going to do that on this one.
Well, I have a... Okay, yeah, I've got about... I've got a little bit, but not a lot.
How much gold do I have? I have some gold.
I mean, all it does is drop down... So, all it does is drop down the exhaustion level, because when they wake up, it'll be... They have 5 levels of exhaustion. It brings it down to, like, 3 or 2 or something like that.
Maybe him being exhausted is a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just don't have 200 gold. I have that much in platinum, just not gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. You can do it for your son. Go to the bank teller tomorrow. Okay, so the alchemist does look down and kind of examine him. She's like, I think firstly I'd like to heal his wounds first.
About that,
Healing has made it worse. At least restoration has.
I used lesser restoration and it didn't seem to have any effect on the cobweb black spider vine.
Well, it made them worse. Lesser restoration did. I think normal healing was okay, but had no effect.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we'll see what happens.
It's kind of experiment. If he dies, we can just resurrect him later. So.
Okay. All right. Well, who wants to be the? Are you going to cast the soul call and?
Oh no! You have to do all of it.
Oh.
I'm not strong enough. I've only
Okay.
done the research.
That's okay. Generally there is someone that will help call him back that I would like to use. Just to help me so I can still focus on the restore soul as well.
How? We don't need to know him, right? to do
I mean,
that?
technically, no. It helps if you do know them. So for your son, you probably want to be like the one calling him back.
Well,
Yeah.
neither of us know him. So.
I mean, we don't really. I don't know. Him
I mean,
personally. I've heard about
anyone
him.
calling them back,
Um,
calling him back, will be helpful. Maybe someone who he'd at least be semi-friendly towards.
That
Dusty?
would probably be me. That would probably be
Mars
me.
and I are out.
I'll accept the role. I'll take it upon myself.
Okay.
Be like, oh,
Oh, the drop. Look at Dusty.
like
Um,
saunters
Oh,
up.
this is a mess.
You sit on a stool, okay? And she puts one of his hands in your hands. As you're just holding this dead guy's hand. And she's going to place her hands on his shoulders. Or one hand on his shoulder. And then the other hand, she's holding a silver bell that Sierra gave her. And as she rings the bell, you feel the magic begin to work in the area. You feel a cold settle in the room. And with that, we are going to end tonight's session.
Aw.
I really wanted that table slam to be dramatic, but it didn't move my webcam at all.
Oh,
Here, wait, ready? Ah,
there we go.
darn.
Yes, Morris will have forever nightmares about frogs, but Lady Noir.
Also, yes, he's very competent when it comes to manners. He
Yes.
just doesn't always use them.
Yeah. Well, tune in next week, everyone, if you want to see what happens to the Winter Court King. If you want to see, will Nori bring back Ami? Will it work? And we'll find all of that out this upcoming week, next week, next Friday. Next Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time on our YouTube.
6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m. Thank you. Mountain Daylight Time. And we love you guys. Please tune in next week, and we hope to see